Hey, welcome to Metal Health episode 14.
Ooh, getting up there now.
Yeah.
Oh, getting all grown up.
Oh, yes. Today we're going to talk about our top 10 of the year. And it's something that we've been talking about for fucking ages, it seems. Basically every single episode that we've done, I think we've mentioned a specific album that's going to be in our top 10.
The dreaded date in every fucking metalhead's calendar, and it's just like, you all get to the end of the year and you all go, fuck, it's top 10 time.
That's it.
Now I have to finalise it. I can't just go, everything's great.
Yeah.
But we make the hard choices. We're not like Decibel and Metal Sucks with our top 15.
True.
We're brutal and hard. We keep it as a true lean top 10.
I've seen some doing 20s and 30s.
There's no challenge to that.
Yeah, exactly. I used to do
It's
a
just
20.
like, oh, everything's good. There you go.
I used to do a 20, and it was just too easy because you're basically choosing 2 albums a month.
Yeah. That's it. Here's 2 albums a month I listen to over the year.
Yeah. Too easy.
No, I rallied against it at times, but I like Jay's thing. He's like, no, you've got to be brutal. You've got to have a top 10.
Pick your favourites, make it a top 10.
Yeah.
So we're first talking about our 10 to 6. So we're all going to go through. Let's do like a round robin thing. So we'll all talk about our 10 first, our number 10, and then I don't know, maybe why, and I don't know, maybe a standout track or something on it.
Okay.
So I guess I'll start. My number 10 is a band called Altered Perceptions, and they had a album out called Malice in June, I think, maybe July, and I'd never heard them before. A completely new band to me. They were sort of like I don't know. They were certainly a deathcore band, but they had something else to them. There was something a little bit more savage than just balls out deathcore.
I was going to say, because it can get a bit boring.
Yeah,
Can't it?
with the 2 albums that came out on the same day, actually, it was Altered Perceptions, and it was Impending Doom.
Oh yeah.
And I really liked both of them to start with, but then when I listened to both of them back to back, Impending Doom was a bit boring, and there was too much generic stuff in it. However,
you could latch on to something.
Altered Perceptions, yeah, it's certainly got more of a death metal sound to it than, I don't know, a lot of your deathcore, I guess, where it's just like 16 bars of chug. I don't know, there's something else to it. I fucking loved it. I've got standout tracks of Plague's Voice and Wrath. You can find it all over Spotify. I do think that they've actually changed their name now, which is weird. Yeah, they've had 2 albums, and then I think they've kind of split up.
Right, it's like a new reincarnation.
I don't think that they can tour. I think that's the downside. They've got commitments and stuff. So they said, hey, we're still going to be a band, but we're going to make music. We're not going to be out on tour and shit, which is fine. I still get to revel in their savagery.
Yeah. There you go.
So yeah, that's my 10. How about you guys?
So I'm going to go with a more recent release then, which is Tosca.
Ooh.
Yeah. So are you surprised that it's because it's lower than you expected, or that it actually made it to the top 10?
I couldn't, even though it's a good album, I in good conscience couldn't find a place for it in mine. But
it was one of my near misses.
Yeah, it would be in the bubbling unders for me, definitely.
I think, yeah. I mean, I introduced Tosca to a guy at work, and he always like, oh, I love it, but not this album, Ode to the Author.
Yeah,
and he'd be like, oh, Jay, and so I said, they've got a new album out, did you know? And he didn't.
Right.
And I felt the need to kind of give him a heads up and say, it's not as chill as Ode to the Author. It's definitely got a darker pitch.
Yeah.
And I suspect that could be why it's not made your top 10s.
I really liked it. I feel to me, I think it might have come out a bit too late in the year.
Right.
If it fell earlier in the year
and
I had more time,
to absorb
I think it definitely would have been in there. It would have at least, top 5, bottom 5 at least.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
I mean, it's not Ode to the Author Part 2, which I probably was expecting. I thought, I bet I know, a little bit more of the same, but I was like, if it's more of the same, this would be brilliant. And I can remember the first time I heard it, it was a bit like, ooh, this is a bit weird. But I just feel it is the perfect album for the UK. So they're a British band, and we're not going to go into rant. We've done this before we hit record. Before we hit record,
I
people.
said I was going to stab someone.
But yeah, before we hit record, people, we were talking about Brexit and things like that.
Yeah, I only
and,
went to the toilet, people, and I came down and these two were ready to stab
yeah,
people.
it was violent. It was frustrating. We're going to wear yellow high-vis jackets and follow our comrades in France.
They'll just build a
Just
wall
start
in for
over
you.
But I feel that's why I've put it in there. It's a reflection of, I think, the darker mood is a reflection of the shit show we're in.
Yeah.
And I kind of like it. To me, it's the soundtrack of everything that's going wrong with this country. It's just like, Britain's crumbling. I'm going to put this on while it happens. You know, while you know, some people just want to watch the world burn. And it's the soundtrack to watch the world burn, or Britain burn. So, yeah, that's why it made it in my...
It's kind of got that almost post-rocky edge to it that reminds me of the soundtrack for 28 Days Later.
Yes. Yeah, very much so. But yeah, that's why it made it for me. And I'd say standout track, the title track, Fire by the Silos, is a really, really strong track.
I know what I'd have gone for if it had been
Which
me.
one?
When Genghis waits.
See, that is my next. That is my next
track.
one after Fire by the Silos, 100%.
I absolutely adore that track. Even though I haven't made it in mine, but yeah, that's a great song. Go listen to it. And what Jay said.
I think you were the same though, weren't you, Terry? That it was a near miss for your top 10. It was almost in there,
I've
but
got a
not
few
quite.
near misses, but you know, you've got, like Jay says, you've got to be brutal. So I'll go for mine. The band from these shores, Bleed From Within. Aaron.
Yeah.
Whee!
Now, these guys, I mean, I loved their last album. It was really, really good. Didn't get to see them on that touring cycle, but I remember dragging you into the sheds at fucking Techfest
Yes.
for it, and you was like, fucking hell. You was really impressed by the end, weren't you? With the energy they brought and stuff like that. But
They were amazing at this year's Tech Fest as well, because I've never seen them live. I've heard of Bleed From Within. Yeah, I've never seen them live.
so yeah, I was the same. I was just like,
And they were a killer at the
They're on fire.
at the Sophie tent at Bloodstock.
Really?
Oh yeah, and I genuinely feel that he'd come on the front man. I'm sorry, really sorry if you're listening. I don't know your name, dude. If it was back in the days of CD liners, I'd have read everything. I'd have read the lyrics, I'd have read the band members, but now it's just on Spotify and I hit play.
I didn't know where the printing press was.
Yeah.
So thanks this person.
But yeah, I think the difference between, I suppose the Techfest stage versus it's a bigger stage anyway, but it seemed that his confidence had shot up and he was just like,
Right.
I guess he'd gotten more dates under his belt, and but all the band as well. I'm saying, you know, folks on the front band, they were proper tight and put on a hell of a live show. I think the only reason probably my top 10 is, I know it didn't come out this year, but if you compare Bleed From Within to Discarnate, I'm gonna lean more towards Discarnate than Bleed From Within. But I totally get why you put it in your top 10, 100%.
Yeah, it's the production and everything on it is absolutely fucking fantastic. If you just want a fucking album to put in and fucking bang your head,
Yeah.
you know, just forget everything and just fucking go mental.
Get
for
that
a bit.
out.
Yeah. These are perfect album for the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go in the gym,
I feel
smash this on, and just fucking lift heavy shit. You know what I mean? My track would be to go check out would be Afterlife.
Yeah.
Good call.
I think
Absolutely fucking storming track that is.
I think we put that on our earlier Techfest
Playlist.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and obviously I think it's actually on our mental health playlist as well.
Yeah, it's just a great album. A lot of things have gone into my bubbling unders for this, so
Yeah.
things that could have made it, like Tosca, that could have made it, but you know.
And to be honest, that's it. I could say same for Bleed From Within. It was a strong candidate, but it's kind of like, what was the one? What was the two acts? So there was Altered Perception
Perceptions and Impending Doom.
So for me, when you were sort of describing how you didn't go back to Impending Doom as much,
Yeah.
so I remember you saying New Bleed From Within's out, and I listened to it 2 or 3 times at home, and then that was it. I only really listened to it those 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And then I kind of like picked up again in the run up to Techfest, but again, I didn't return to it, so that's why it was kind of a bubbling under. It's like when I actively play it, it's good, but I don't ever open up Spotify and think, oh, I'll listen to that. You know, it's more kind of, ooh, the touring, right, I'll refresh my memory, and so
Yeah,
that's
right.
why for me it was a bubbling under.
Okay,
But
that's
yeah,
fine.
good call.
That's fine. Right, Luke.
Cool, so we're on to number 9. My number 9 was the Dali Thundering concept.
Okay.
Savages, I think it's called. I think it came out back in April. And it's one that I was looking forward to because I've kind of enjoyed the last 2 Dali Thundering concept releases. And this one is as crazy as you would imagine it to be if you'd heard any of the other stuff. They've got all sorts of different instruments in there. They've got quite a lot of guests in there. There's fucking saxophone, piano solos, all sorts of shit. It is insane. My standout tracks for it is pretty much the 2 singles that they released of it, The Myth of Happiness and Utopia. The one downside that they got to this, and to be fair, it might have pushed them up, is I didn't enjoy them at TechFest.
Wow.
Okay.
And I don't, although that didn't affect the way that I hear the album, I think there's definitely some kind of impact there that may have pushed them maybe down one. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't sound great. I believe that they're an amazing band, and it was probably just that they had a stage movement that they weren't expecting. But yeah, it wasn't a particularly great experience, and I usually go and stand by the sound desk, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Do you think maybe then, because like you've just said, like from the album perspective, so it's like sax, piano, violin, stuff like that, a lot of stuff going on. Do you think that if you saw them in a more, for want of a better word, traditional indoor venue like Rock City or something like that, where you kind of got that, you've got the wood panelling, and like some older venues like Brixton's even got some like sort of plush velvet curtain size,
Yeah.
rather than the metal sheds of TechFest, do you think maybe if you saw Thundering Dali in a traditional venue,
Yes.
do you think it would sound better?
Yeah, definitely. And I feel that the samples and things that they used almost overpowered the guitars, and really the guitars are a really fucking important part of that band. It adds bounce, and it adds like a really fucking chuggy aspect to it, and without that it seemed very, very shallow. And
I agree, shallow and pedantic.
so that was my number 9. What about you guys?
Do you want to go for your number 9 this time, Terry?
Can do, mate. Can do. Just give me a second here. Get the old notes up.
You're not prepared.
Finally, oh, there we go. It's an album that I think we was all pretty unanimous on, with a love for it, and that's Yob.
Yeah.
Snap! Hey, there we go.
Our Raw Heart.
You've both got Yob as number 9.
Yes.
Oh, right, so
Yeah.
we'll do,
Oh shit.
we'll do Yob there then.
Yeah. Go on, you lead off. So you've picked it first.
Well, what can I say? I mean, we waxed lyrical about it, didn't we? When
We
it
did.
Was, when we did it in album review. It's just a masterpiece, in my opinion, from fucking start to finish. I'm in awe of it, especially when it's coming from
Near
man
death.
he was literally on death's door.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
wrote this whole album on his deathbed.
Yeah.
Basically, well, what he thought would be his deathbed.
I think that's the key, really,
Yeah.
as to why it's so
It's
impressive.
got such a tone in it
Yeah.
that you can actually feel where he's coming from
Yeah.
and how close he was to death.
See, for me, it's to people not into our genre of music, they're like, oh, and it's not got Cookie Monster vocals, but
No.
it's very from the heart and raw.
That's it, yeah. It's from the heart.
And
That's why
it's kind of
our
like
raw heart,
it's
I
like
should
yeah,
imagine.
our raw heart. It's kind of like a darker version of Ray LaMontagne, who did Trouble and stuff like that, like a soulful vocalist. And the guitars, like you say, that tone that it has. Anyone not into our musical genre, even though it's not got blast beats and tremolo picking, they're like, oh no, that sounds like depressing. But actually, the theme of that album is life affirming.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing what I
Agreed.
like about it. It's just, this is a guy at death's door, near death.
Yeah.
He had a vision. He's like, right, he wrote most of the music. And I can remember when we did the review and we were looking at on Wikipedia at all their influences. And it's like, they cite Cannibal Corpse, but then they cite like a classic, late 70s, early 80s band like Trouble. And it's like, I can actually hear Trouble in there. I can actually hear Cannibal Corpse, that but yeah, it doesn't sound like going, oh, here's a Cannibal Corpse blast beat, here's a trouble guitar tone. It's just they've made their own thing, and that's what sealed it for me. It's just you have to listen from start to finish. It's not something. If I went to see Yob, I wouldn't go to be like going in the pit, and I'll talk about that with one of the albums later on. I would go there, kind of what you were talking about with Dally Thunder and Concept Luke. I'd be stood at the mixing desk.
Yeah.
So as close to dead centre as possible. I could see the stage, but my ears are roughly between the left and right stacks.
Hit me right in the centre wall of sound.
Right centre, that's it, wall of sound. And I just, me and Terry, we saw Mastodon play Crack the Sky.
We did.
Mastodon, when they toured that, and they played it live, start to finish. And nothing would make me happier, to be honest, if Yob did a tour next year and they said, we're doing Our Raw Heart in full, and then we'll do an encore of like 5 or 6 tracks from our back catalogue.
Yeah.
But sign my ass up for that, front and centre.
I'll tell you something as
We'll see you there, Mike Shape.
Yeah,
definitely. I'll tell you something as well. One of the most beautiful songs I've heard this year is Beauty in Falling Leaves.
Yes.
Would be my recommended track to check out. But that doesn't give you that track doesn't give you a feel for the album.
You've got to listen to it start to finish. You have to.
It's one of those albums that's in context that you listen to track 3 on its own. It doesn't sound the same as if you're listening through.
Singles,
if
can you?
If you took a patty out of a burger and you start the meat patty, you'd be like, but it's with all the ingredients that a burger is a burger, and it's the same thing.
Yeah,
a patty's nice. Yeah, so a patty's nice, but the whole burger's better, or an enchilada or a taco.
Yeah.
And this is the same thing. We can say, oh, this is our favourite track. But Yob.
And we are actually listening to it right now. It's weird.
Yeah.
We've got a playlist on right now that's on random, and when we're talking about Yob,
it
Yob
kicks
arrives.
Yes.
Well, there you go. You see,
Yob listens to you.
That is fate right there, people. People.
Yeah, I absolutely. Well, when I first heard this, I just listened to it and listened to it and listened to it, and I was fucking fell in love with this album. It's just got everything you want from a fucking heavy near-death album.
Yeah.
I think.
But it's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
It's full of different feelings. That what you're hearing right now is a really fucking doomy part.
Yes.
Yeah, just
nasty, fucking
it's almost like
and
Kirk Crowbar type.
Yeah, totally. However, there are other sections that it's just led from that was atmospheric and beautiful and twinkly and it's great. It's
well crafted, very well crafted.
Yeah, it almost at times it almost feels like it's a film score because it takes you through journeys of emotion in a way.
Yeah, definitely.
So
definitely no. This album ain't no one trick pony.
No,
that's
God no.
Fucking damn sure. But yeah, that's enough about us fucking flapping on about.
If you want to hear us jock it more, go back in our previous episodes where we review it in full, and we'll be saying more of the same stuff.
So because we did a
fat to Yob.
Yeah, because we did a double number 9. Oof. Steady on.
So what we're down to 8. Yeah, my 8 is sleep.
Oh.
Science.
I noticed that was on a lot of magazines / websites year-end lists.
One of these surprise releases of the year.
Yeah.
Did they release it on 420?
420, of course they did.
Of course, that's the American date way, not the UK one, but there you go.
Yeah, I'm like, what's the 20th month? So yeah, that was fucking great. There hasn't been any new sleep material since like fucking I don't know, 1998 or some shit like that.
Ages.
So I was thrilled to hear new sleep. They haven't really changed. I almost feel like there's another band that Al is in, bassist, called which is really chilled, like even more chilled, and it's got a kind of a real kind of meditative kind of feel to it. And there are aspects of that I pick up now in sleep, except there's also a fucking ridiculous goddamn heavy ass doom guitar in there as well. So I'm just like shit. There's a little standout line that just feels so sleep to me, and it is the pterodactyl flies again. It plays no part in the rest of the song.
Yeah.
And it's just jumped in like a 7th bar of like a riff.
So none of the other verses talk about a pterodactyl.
No.
It's like, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, the pterodactyl.
And like you can imagine, yeah, sitting there like fucking super high, and then the pterodactyl flies again, and you're like, yeah,
Write that down.
and it's fucking great. Standout tracks from that: Antarctican's Thord and Giza Butler.
Oh, brilliant!
Like Giza, as in
The
Israel.
Pyramids of Giza.
Yeah.
Giza.
Yeah. So that was cool. What's your guys' 8? Have you got another match in?
I don't think
Hang
we
on.
have this time.
No, because
No.
You won't have this in yours. I can already guarantee it.
Okay. Well, do you want to go first this time, or?
I can do. It's the band that's playing right now.
Oh, there you go. Then best that you're gonna have.
A Perfect Circle.
How has that worked?
Again.
Is this just how it's going to be on this podcast?
This playlist has been gamed by Terry to be in his favour.
This is on shuffle.
Yeah, he's fucking around with it.
Hey, sure, fine, I ain't touched shit.
Terry's hacking Spotify, everyone.
Confirmed, we do not share an account.
Hey, I could barely fucking work Spotify some days, let alone act the cunt.
So this was kind of another anticipated release.
Yeah,
'cause it's
for
been
me,
time.
I
What was it,
was
13 years since the last one, or some shit like
this
that.
is it. It's just like, for me, call me a fanboy, call me what you want, but I've absolutely loved everything that Maynard puts his vocals to. To be honest with you,
You don't like Pucifer?
No, but I don't like that.
I think that's more that it's sometimes has a dance element to it rather than
Yeah, it doesn't really float my boat. Well, whatever Maynard wants to do, it's fine. He does what he wants to do.
You know what? I'm gonna play you some fucking Pucifer that I think you'll love.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright, fair play.
'Cause-
I'll have a listen to it.
Dude, they got like fucking eight EPs and albums or some shit.
There has to be something.
Yeah.
But
In
yeah,
fact, their last album, Condition of My Parole, was fucking awesome.
Well, I'll give that a blast.
Yeah.
But I'll get back to this.
It's like Maynard.
Maynard.
Do you like his wine gums?
Yeah. Don't start your dad jokes. But yes, I absolutely fucking adore his voice. When I sat there listening to the very first track, and it's a very piano-led track, I was like, oh, what's this? Not really heard anything that he's done for a while. It's just, for me, I was like really anticipating hearing what Maynard does this year, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What does he sound like?
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to know what I'm in for in the Tool album. Fingers crossed, and hope to God. But yeah, as soon as he started singing, I was just like, got me right in the heart. I was like, my boy's back. He's back, and I was just sat there listening to that first track, and it's fucking beautiful. It's actually called Eat the Elephant. But that first track is stunning. It had me from the fucking get-go.
I just
really did.
I just
Your
remember.
your passion and me actually hearing a pretty rad bit is like
Yeah.
making me think, yeah, I should actually go listen to it again.
Snap,
'Cause
I'm
I
like-
only give it
this
one.
is
one
perfect.
play.
The second track is about everything nowadays, because the lyrics to the chorus is, I want you to put the silicone obsession down
Okay.
and take a look around. So that's a dig to everybody nowadays, what they're doing when they're walking down the street, their heads
Yeah.
in their phones.
Yeah, and he don't like phones at gigs either, does he?
No, he doesn't.
He did, however, allow one person to take a set of photos the other week.
Well,
though.
that's fucking...
How benevolent of him.
Yeah.
Be
you
fucking,
there.
Be fucking thankful.
I wonder if it's a guy like with like a fucking red camera or something like that. He's like, if you're gonna take a photo, you're gonna take.
You're
a
going to make it
good
high
fucking
res, you're going to
photo.
make it good. Was it Sean? Cool.
This is a really clever track as well. This is probably one of the... It's called So Long and Thanks for All the Fish.
Oh yeah,
Ah,
that was one of
Hitchhiker's
the,
Guide.
That was
Yeah.
one of the singles, wasn't it?
Yeah, but he sings about really relevant stuff like all the celebrities. It's in the chorus here.
Yeah.
All the celebrities and shit that's died this year and stuff.
Ah.
And the year before. It's all intermingled into the chorus,
Okay.
which is really good. But yeah, I'll fucking wax on about this album for ages.
I seem to remember,
really,
I think
really good. really, really good thing. Yeah, and another thing that I think that Jay's going to come out with now is going to see my Spotify. You're going to say about my Spotify usage of this album.
Yeah, because it's I can remember like around this time is when I just every time I open Spotify, it'd be just like on the Windows app, it's like your friends, and it's just like Terry, perfect circle, Terry King, perfect circle, perfect circle, perfect circle, perfect circle, perfect circle. Literally, like I could set my watch to that shit. It's just like I'm gonna open this up, and it'll like my last played album and whatever it was, probably Rivers of Nile.
And then me.
Terry,
perfect
circle. It was just like me and him each had our own jockeying albums, but yeah, man, if you love it, you love it. The heart wants what the heart wants.
Do you know what? In a way,
I am a fanboy, but I think this album's fucking stunning.
In a way,
stunning piece of work.
That means that like all the rest of the albums that you've got in front of this, oh my god, how good are they?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Then I'm like, bloody hell.
I was expecting a perfect circle to be higher. So what the fuck else you got in here?
Some brilliant things.
So my number 8.
But I was going to say,
sorry,
Jay. I was going to say, it's in my top 10. It's done fucking well to be there.
And shit, there's been so much out this year.
Yeah, exactly.
So mine actually is a throwback to our first ever podcast, where we reviewed
Ishan,
or Ihsan, however you want to pronounce it. That I'd never listened to him before. I think as we discussed on the review, we
all went in dry, didn't we?
Well, that's it. We all went in dry, giggity. And I mean, I think the reason why this is made my top 10 is I can't even give you a standout track. Because they're all
great.
They're all totally different, and they're all totally amazing. And it's not kind of like when we talk about Yob and saying how it takes you on a journey, and there's a couple of other albums where we'll probably use that same phrase. And I wouldn't say necessarily that I'm takes you on a journey. It's more a collection of moods.
Yeah. With
those 9 tracks, you can't accuse it of being bland. You can't accuse it of like they've opened up. Fucking hell, what's the computer program that they all used to record songs in now? Pro Tools.
Yeah.
It's not like he's gone, oh, there's that chug 4-bar chug, copy, paste, pig squeal, you know what I mean?
Have you seen my writing process?
But that's why I had to make my top 10. It's just, like I say, we went in dry. I probably wouldn't have picked it as a thing to review, and it kind of opened me up, and I'm just like, yeah, this is absolutely amazing. Again, I'm gutted I didn't see him at Bloodstock Damnation. Actually, I'm Bloodstock as Emperor, but I don't think I'd go and watch Ishan to go in the pit.
No.
Not now.
No.
And probably even Emperor for that matter. It's just, they don't seem like a pit band. They don't seem like a get your aggression out like Bleed From Within. Again, I think to see that album and all his back catalogue, I'd be like, plump my ass next to the mixing desk.
Yeah.
And let me breathe in the sound, as it were.
Yeah.
But I can't pick out a standout because to me, every single one stand out because they all sound so totally different.
And you know what I like about that album? Amir.
I
don't know how to pronounce the little accents. That was an album that I listened to a lot before we did our first podcast because I was like, I want to, properly be, covered in this album. Show everything to me. So when I give it a review, I'm actually giving it a review.
Yeah.
Because especially considering I've never heard any of his previous work.
Yeah, you didn't want to wing it.
So I'm like, okay, I need to listen to this quite a bit. And it's one of those albums that grew. Like the first time you listen to it, you're like, oh, yeah, shit, that's a pretty good album.
And then you listen
to it again, you're like,
again.
Oh man, this bit right here.
And I probably had a little bit of Perfect Circle actually when that's it after the review.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna listen to it again. Now it's saying like in the run up the week to the first recording, I'm like, right, I'm gonna listen to it again. I'm gonna listen to it again. And then after, because then I started like, you two chimed in and like, I've not spotted that before.
Yeah.
And then that I went back and listened to it again that weekend, and it just it built, and for a good 3-4 weeks. That was on seriously heavy rotation, and that's why it had to make it into the top 10.
Ishan's another one of my near misses that was like it's probably like 12 or something like that.
If I know we don't do 20s, but if we did, it'd be in there for me.
Yeah.
So
It's just because you've got to be fucking brutal.
now we've done 10, 9 and 8, and we've only got 7 and 6 to go. Shall we read out some of our
Yeah.
I'm going to say readers, our listeners.
Listeners in
Top
our
tens.
Metal Elf.
So do you want to go with Rich's?
Yeah, hang on, mate. Just give me a. Do you want to do?
I'll do Joey's while you look at Rich's.
I'm getting it up. Yeah.
Okay, so Joe Jowett. So he's admitted that his top 10. He doesn't know the exact order, apart from the fact he's put in Clutch Book of Bad Decisions at number 1. So I'm just going to go through the rest and read from bottom to top. So Soulfly Ritual. Yeah, I think that's probably one of their strongest since Dark Ages, if not up there with Dark Ages.
I got something really funny that I read online actually, and it was I can't remember which metal blog it was, but they were like, oh yeah, Soulfly Ritual, it's their best work to date, 3 out of 5. And I'm like, oh man, that's a pretty shitty indictment of Soulfly. But I've heard it, and it is fucking good.
That's what I was going to say.
I know I've already used the burger analogy. I think with Soulfly, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
And so I can see why it's the best work, 3 out of 5.
But in another way, I didn't see that. I expected just like, I don't know, whatever the last third album was or something again.
Yeah.
Because I feel that they did become a little stagnated.
Yeah.
And
They did churn out a few albums.
He's got a bit more fire now.
I'm not sure what's happened on this album, but it just seems to have, I don't know, there's been some kind of progression that's moved it on.
I think it's because he's spending more time playing with his brother now.
Yeah.
That sounded wrong.
Alleged.
Number 9, Parkway Drive Reverence. Now this I did listen to a lot. It's not made my top 10, and there's probably a lot of elitists who are like boo, but I get why he's put it on there. Now I did going to download this year, and when Parkway Drive announced the tour before they announced the support slots, I was a little bit sort of sceptical, and I sort of this so Tosh, who does the Rock Train or on Siren FM, he sort of shared it. He's like, oh yeah, Parkway Drive doing an arena tour in 2019, and I commented at the time and was like, are they really big enough? Is this not going to be like when Machine Head and Arch Enemy toured and they had to put a curtain halfway along the arena because he didn't sell enough tickets? And he's like, oh, if you saw him at Download, you'd understand. And I was like, really? And so my last experience of him is like Kill Him With a Smile and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And but
Which,
then,
to my money, I think Parkway now are a completely
different band to Kill With a Smile.
Well, if you're going to class them in metalcore has evolved.
Yeah, so they are the softer sound.
So they've moved out, they've stepped out of metalcore, and I think more into the.
They've been steered a little bit by.
I don't know. For me,
Bring Me.
Yeah,
a little less electronica than Bring Me.
Bring Me, maybe more in the kind of trying to move into that Five Finger Death Punch kind of territory.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
So
it's nice, simple, easy, cheery.
What do you call it? Popular metal? I don't know.
Yeah.
But
like
to be fair, I saw the crowd. Now you can say it's slightly stacked as well because they played, as is my understanding, don't quote me this, but they played on the Saturday, headlined the second stage, and Guns N' Roses, part of their requirements was that the second stage had to finish before they started. So if you weren't into Guns N' Roses, everyone smashed it to the second stage. But the stage show, you got the drummer with the rotating drum kit like Tommy Lee and stuff.
Is he not getting sued for that or some shit?
I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me. But
I heard everyone banging about that Download.
They said that they were amazing.
Even people who didn't actually like the new album, they were like,
they were. You know what? I listened to the album a fair bit because it has got stadium filling quality tracks. It is that nice, popular, catchy metal.
Is it that?
It has. Yeah, it's got something you hate. So after that. So Monster Magnet, so a bit of an old one there, Mindfucker. I'm going to put my hands up. I didn't realise Monster Magnet had a new album out this year.
You know what, Jay? I'm going to put my hands up even further. I didn't even realise Monster Magnet was still a fucking band.
I didn't know they were still kind of like like the Grateful Dead. They just keep going. Right. But I didn't know they had an album of that.
No one on me that.
What's the lead singer's name called again?
Dave Windorf.
Yeah, that's it.
Like the Torch revival, so Howard Jones' new band.
Yeah.
It's got some former All Shall Perish people in it as well, and they've had to change the name to Like the Torch because they used to be called something. I forgot what they were called before,
Yes.
like the Torch. But then there was arguments about who owned the band name. It's just like, right, if you're gonna be if anyone's listening, they're forming a band, just make sure all 4 of you share the name of the band and don't have someone going, oh yeah, I've come up with the name of the band, and then they take it.
And
becomes a
it's
legal
like
argument.
the same fucking thing, but without the or some shit.
So 10, 9,
What we call
8,
the ball
7.
sacks.
So 7 was like the Torch. 6, Burn the Priest. So we talked about Burn the Priest.
Yeah, we did review
No,
that.
I won't have that eye.
We weren't keen on it,
We
but
were keen, but
to be fair, it's a decent cover album.
yeah.
I don't
5,
get covers, but you know.
Sleep.
Yeah.
The Sciences.
Hey.
Thought Luke would like that one.
Smoke.
Smoke. Oh, now Jerry. 4, Skindred. Big Tings.
Okay.
3, Behemoth. I loved you at your darkest.
Oof.
See, they just don't click for me. I
That
tried
was a
the-
bubbling under for me.
I tried the
It was a bit of a
Satanist,
bubbling
and I
under for me
tried
as
it,
well.
but again, it just nothing latched. Now this next one, so his number, I'm going to class it as his number 2. Here, number 2. I've only just come across this, and I'm pissed off because they played Bloodstock, and I didn't bother checking them out. Alien Weaponry.
Yeah, they're fucking great.
Yeah,
They're
I've
killer.
heard of them.
Yeah.
They are fucking killer, and they are definitely. I've like only discovered it
But,
past 2 or 3 weeks.
Aren't they? Sepultura Roots, that's what it screams for me, mate.
But it's not as bad as Roots.
It's more
It
than that.
screams
The
to
reason
me.
why it didn't make my top 10 though, so I've only discovered it 2
You
weeks
tell
ago.
it's heavily fucking.
It's
Yeah.
I tell you what,
It's giving it a big hug.
the
put it
one
that
symptom
way.
that I do hate about it is it's got that god awful sort of Roadrunner, new metal, sort of Slipknot problem of the very late 90s of this album should have 15 tracks.
Yeah.
And I was listening to it in like the very first time, and you're like, open, this is fucking amazing. And then you're
Grated
like,
on
and
you
then
by
you're
the
like,
end.
is this still going? And you're on
Yeah.
like track 12, and you open up Spotify, and there's 3 more tracks to go, and you're like, nah, fucking stop now.
Yeah.
It's like people complain about Stephen King books being like, I don't mind that myself. Or people say, well, it's 1,000 pages long. Why didn't his editor force him to strip? It's like, dude, it's Stephen King. He makes billions. No one tells him what to do.
You
Yeah.
use 3 pages describing a fucking napkin.
Yeah. But yeah, so good shout on Alien Weaponry. And then, yeah, number 1 is Clutch of Book of Bad Decisions. So,
That's, I mean,
So Clutch was a bubbling under for me. That although it sounded like I was pissing all over it when we were doing the review, I totally wasn't. I do enjoy it, and it's still fucking Clutch, damn it. But I do think
I do like
that I
Clutch.
could have cut a couple of songs out.
I do like Clutch, but I couldn't in good conscience put this in.
And it
it's
is-
one of my, if we was doing a disappointments of the year,
that'd
this would be in it.
Okay.
Right, so it wouldn't be. So I'm going to get the last thing to do with Joe. I'll say is, so he listed a couple of his near misses
Okay.
at the gates and Camelot. Would you not even class Clutch as a near miss rather than a disappointment? Disappointment seems harsh.
I was a near miss because I think I was really
That
excited
sounds-
for it.
I was hoping for a lot better.
Wow, bloody hell.
That's
So,
me being that's me being fucking brutal.
So what did
Right,
Rich,
what do you want me to do? 10
10 up
upwards?
to 1? Yeah.
Right, he's got. She's a good friend of mine as well, Richard Hazel. He's put his top 10 into us, which is number 10, Conjuring Maya, good pick. I'll back that to the hill.
Yeah, I thought you would.
Number 9, Palm Reader Braille, which
You'd
is
also back
higher
that.
in mine, but I'll back that to the hill as well.
Don't fucking give your secrets out.
He's put
Spoiler alert.
Grey Haven, which is another good album, Empty Black.
I know you were raving
Number
about
8.
them as well, weren't you, Tom?
Yeah, that is a really good album, and yeah, couldn't find a place in mine, which is probably still it would be in my bubbling unders. Will Haven,
You see,
Murder.
I completely forgot about it. Which
Did you?
Yeah, which
It's fucking great. I went back
It
and
is
listened
great.
to it, and you're like, fuck me.
it is
What the
great,
fuck?
but I just think that there's been like so much other shit out this year
Yeah,
that
you're right.
if I forgot about it, then it wasn't in my top 10.
And then it comes back to the top 10 rule.
Yeah. Number 6, he's got Fit for a King, Dark Skies.
Ooh.
Any of you guys got involved with that?
No, I've read about it and I've not. I'm going to have to. Do you know what? This will be my weekend now. I'll be going through other people's picks.
Yeah, totally.
Do you know what? That's one thing I do. I love doing it this time of year. Going through, what's that? And heard that.
Yeah,
Wonders of Spotify.
yeah.
See, there's one
Yeah.
that like a lot of the websites have dropped. I think it's Tribulation.
Yeah, I
Now,
hate that.
So
I hate it.
some of the music I like, but the vocals just really pissed me off.
I saw a bunch of.
And I don't understand why people are jocking it so hard.
And people jocking that fucking Greta Van Fleet. I've seen that.
Yeah.
Quite a lot, and I'm like,
I've seen
I
Skeleton
don't
Witch,
understand.
Skeleton Witch, yeah.
And I don't know. I just wasn't into it at all, but I've seen a lot of people like it, and that's. To be fair, that's the first time that I think I may have seen Skeleton Witch on people's top 10s of the year.
I think
so. Well, fucking done.
I think Forever Abomination might have crept in a couple of people like the 10 or the 9s,
Yeah.
maybe on Metal Sucks. But yeah, you're right. I've never seen it crop up in so many blogs and websites and mags polls as this one. As this one absolutely smashed it.
So
what's his next one?
he's got one that you had in yours, Jay.
Go on.
Near enough. Monuments.
Good stuff. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Shh.
Number 4, Black Peaks.
Okay.
Bullet Divides.
Yeah, that's a great fucking
Cracking
album.
album. Absolutely cracking album. Number 3, his number 3 is Ghost Key. See Through This.
Yeah.
His number 2 is Vex's Ancient Geometry, which is a really good album. Come out really early this year. I mean, really, really early.
What, January,
it's
February
kind of
time?
like, yeah, it's kind of like a Deftonesy vibe.
Okay.
Really, really good.
Have Vex's been around for a while?
I think they have, but
Because I'm sure I heard Vex's like
Yeah,
I don't
I
know,
think
maybe
they have,
in
yeah.
the fucking mid 2000s or something.
But no, I would recommend if you like kind of Deftonesy, like Crosses, Team Sleep kind of stuff.
That'll be up your street.
Yeah, that would be
Cool.
really up your street. And his number 1 is Silent Planet, When the End Began.
Okay. That's a good very mix.
It very is. Thanks, Rich, for sending that in, mate.
Yeah, thanks, Rich and Joey.
And I will be like, other listeners, send us some more shit to read.
Yeah,
through
please
because,
do.
Give us your opinions and stuff. So we are going to go on to 7, but what I thought I'd do now is I don't know, make you fucking wait for it. So we're going to play a song in between. So we're going to be playing Misery Index's new song, New Salem, which is fucking
Rips.
relentless.
Fucking tasty.
Album's not out till March 2019, but this
Bastard.
song's gonna keep you going, people.
So yeah, allow this into your holes. Okay, so we're back to do our 7 and 6.
Woohoo!
So who have I got on my 7? Where the hell are my emails? Oh, here we are. 7 is Black Tongue, Nadir.
Oof, heavy.
Yeah, that was one of my bubbling unders.
Holy shit, that is savage. It is fucking brutal as fuck. I've been into the last couple of Black Tongue releases, notably the last one that they had before that, which was The Unconquerable Darkness. They've definitely evolved. They've got a way more, dare I say, death metal approach to things. It's really, really atmospheric, even outside of the heaviness. It's really atmospheric. Like there's one of my standout tracks on it was a dying god coming into human flesh, and that is like
What a fucking title for
I know,
a song
and
that
it is so fucking dark. It's like mostly spoken word as well, and sung in the background. It's got a real fucking super heavy section right in the middle. But yeah, other standout track for me, Second Death. That is such a fucking heavy song. They were always one of my if I want to listen to something heavy, I'll put Black Tongue on, and they fucking still are. This seems heavier than The Unconquerable Darkness, which I, to be fair, didn't really realise could be done. I think the only reason it's a little bit far down on the list is, as I keep saying, there's been so much other shit out this year, and stuff that I've really looked forward to.
Well, I always think, mate, look at it this way. It's done well to get in your top 10.
Yeah. Also, another UK band.
It was a bubbling under for me, and again, this is what I love about sort of social media. So, a guy that I worked with, but not sort of side by side, but we both worked at Vodafone, didn't work there anymore. And the bassist, Frantic Clone, Mike. Quite often he would like put stuff about Black Tongue on Facebook, and I never really listened to him, even though he'd put some like, yes, it's been. I'm gutted that they've not done anything in years. And then I think like Black Tongue started a bit of the hype machine about we were bringing out a new album, and he's like, yes. And I'm like, so when it came out, I'm like, do you know what? Over the past year, I've probably seen Mike post like at least 10 different statuses relating to Black Tongue. I'm like, they must be that good for him to keep talking about it.
Yeah.
And I'll check him out. And yeah, I remember when I play, I'm like, this is nasty. It is gnarly. It's just like uncompromising as fuck. And again, British band. We're not looking to mainland Europe or America. This is like homegrown good shit. And for me, it might not make my top 10, but it's a proper bubbling under. Yeah. And I can see why it made yours.
I can see why it made yours, Luke.
Such a fucking savage album, and I've tried to be kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say conservative, but I tried to kind of space out different types of music in my top 10 as well, so not make it pretty much all just one specific genre, because I've tried to think of what do I listen to at different points in my life, what do I listen to at different
I tend to try and do the same in my top 10s and split them, so it's like 5 are sort of more pit anthem albums and 5 are more deeper.
Exactly, and this is one of the ones that instantly was like, even before it came out, I was like, that's a brutal ass album that I'm looking forward to. And I remember it was when I was on holiday in New York in September that they released the first song from it, and I was listening to it in the Airbnb in Brooklyn, and it was like, so good. I'm just going to put these headphones in and sink into this sofa right now.
There's no better feeling than that.
Brutal album.
It really is. If you're mad or angry, that is something you'll listen to.
And I would say it's another fucking album to go fucking lifting fucking heavy shit to.
Yeah, definitely, because it's a real slow tempo most of the time.
Yeah, it's not hyper fast, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People. I'll get all into my training background here, but you want something slow, that's what you need. Fucking lifting weights. Keep slow
and mid-pace.
Probably just pounding along at like 90 BPM.
The high BPMs for the jogging.
That's why I love fucking Pantera. Pantera's great for fucking weightlifting.
Such groove.
Dun 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 dun.
You can even fucking time yourself on it. There you go.
But good call. So my 7. We might be saying something about their record label here. Unearth, Extinctions. Ooh-wee. Why I put this in here? For me, this is a phoenix from the flames. So, you know,
I agree.
2003, you know, Oncoming Storm, fuck me.
So good.
Zombie Autopilot. Fucking, and then I weren't really bothered by In the Eyes of Fire or you know.
There was another one about a crown or something.
Yeah, and then, but then the album before, Extinctions, which I'm struggling to remember now. And that was that got some like blast beats on it and stuff. But maybe the songs weren't as catchy as they were Oncoming Storm sort of thing. So it's almost like with this Watchers of Rule. But yeah, Extinctions,
Great
it's
album,
like
that,
it is a good album, but maybe not as
I like that. I
easy
really
to catch.
like that
But
album.
yeah, Extinctions for me, it's just like I'd say Phoenix from the Flames. It's always like this is a band that's about what, like 7 albums in now,
Yeah.
and the energy, the piss and vinegar they've got. You would think this is the album that came after the Oncoming Storm, not that they released 4 albums, and that's why I sort of put it in there. It's just like you might say, well, they've not grown, they've not progressed. Although they've got, I read up on it. They got some like outside help, like they got sort of people from.
I can't remember. Don't mean my
I think they
memory's
got
shit.
someone who played
Privileges
Techfest.
of being old.
Who played Techfest? Deathcore, Vincent.
Oh,
Acacia Strain.
Acacia Strain,
Yeah, I think someone from Acacia Strain helped him out, and Adam D helped the drummer out, and you know, but it's that's it. You've got some like there's some proper death vocals in there, like deathcore vocals, but some amazing leads and some like sweet picking and stuff. You know, the guitarists are talented as fuck. But
Ken Ishii,
Ken Susi and
yeah, I don't know if he's still with them or
I think he is.
he's an amazing guitarist.
He is. I think he's doing all the sweeps and stuff.
Do you remember when we saw him at Sonosphere? It was him who stood in with Lamb of God because Mark Morton couldn't be there.
Yeah, with the birth of his kid.
Something like that, yeah. But he fucking
did
Ken
it.
from fucking Unearth stood in for Lamb of God and did a fucking bang up
But
job.
they are such a great tag team, and it's just like they've not sold out, they've not commercialised. You know, Metal Sucks, the Slayer of metalcore. You could say that the AC/DC of metalcore. You know what you're getting.
What the fuck's wrong with that?
What the fuck's wrong with that? And that's
Great
it.
album.
So that's why I put it on there. So yeah, Century Media, stop complaining that we're sort of playing your band's tracked.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not like you've given us the album three months early and we're leaking a track.
We're not spunked it.
You've already put it on YouTube and Spotify. So stop doing takedowns.
Yeah. Bit of background on that. Our last episode 13 got struck on YouTube by Century Media. I tried to.
Very bad boys.
Yeah, I tried to dispute it because obviously we did call out the track on the podcast. I also put the name of the album and song and band on the descriptions, but I don't know, whatever. It's all done by robots
This
anyway. So.
is Democracy Manifest. This is the record label that's got me by the penis, people. You assured me I could share this track. What's the charge? Enjoying metalcore? Some succulent American metalcore?
Succulent.
I mean, it's weird because it wasn't monetized and the track is already on YouTube, so I don't get it.
What's
but
the
whatever?
What's the
Anyway,
But yeah, that's my number 7.
your number 7.
Terry.
My number 7 is Conjurer, Maya.
Oh.
Now, what can I say about these boys that I hadn't already fucking been banging on about this
So
album
you've
since
loved them
it came out?
through the summer. They've been your kind of
If you want something-
poster band for.
Fucking just, and this is their, well, I know they've had an EP before it. This is their fucking debut album. I mean, fuck me, what a debut album to come out on, and they're all fairly young lads. I mean,
Yeah.
I went to see them in Nottingham with Palm Reader.
Bit of a 1-2 that.
Fucking brilliant. I mean, and I wasn't expecting. I was like, they got up on stage, and I was like, these lads, is it going to be some like fucking college band or something? You know what I mean? Well, no, they fucking blew my fucking socks completely off.
What a year they've had.
Oh, what a year. I mean, if you haven't heard of Conjurer, please go check Maya out. It is, if you want something nasty, there's elements of so much stuff in here. There's, you can have fucking the brutalist death metal. You can have nice fucking post-rock passages.
They do some real good thrash.
They meld it, thrash. They can meld it all together.
Yeah.
And you can tell they've taken influences from the old school
And
the new,
and
made
their own thing.
Yeah, and mashed it together and made their own thing. But I love this album. I absolutely, I can't say enough good things about it. I'm looking forward to what they do next because I potentially think it could be massive.
Yeah.
Well, people always say this about like a second, like sophomore album, don't they?
It's like the makeup because you've had all the time in the world to write your first, but then as soon as you do, like you said, what a year they've had, then the label and the PR and the management are going to be like, right, so come on.
Yeah.
But I think it kind of ties with what you said about the different styles and you as well. The bills that they've been on, so they've been on Tech Fest, which predominantly is either crazy talented deathcore where people are doing like lots of sweeps and Pregio picks and stuff like that, or very gent heavy bands.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't call Conjure aren't sort of crazy tech death, and they're not gent.
No.
But they went on the Tech Fest bill. Yeah. They then went on Bloodstock, which, and I actually say with the most recent announcement, they've now Bloodstock's now got Tesseract and stuff like that. It's the most varied Bloodstock lineup I've ever seen this year. Yeah. But Conjure on, next year, 2019. But Conjure on this year's Bloodstock lineup, which again was quite varied. So it's to go from like a very young upstart festival like Tech Fest to a trad fest like Bloodstock. Yeah. They've just announced they've blagged themselves the support slot Rivers and Niles US headline tour. So they're supporting a very progressive death metal band. So the experiences they're going to have being on all these different bills. Yeah. Tell me what you're seeing, Terry, about how they take all these styles and mash them up. I think their second album could be something special.
Yeah, I think that could be absolutely fucking massive for them. And I wish them all the luck in the world.
They were fucking great when I saw them at Tech Fest. They were fucking excellent.
And I fucking... Didn't I lose you guys? And I was down the front.
You just went, you smashed it. But they were great in the sofa tent at Bloodstock.
I'm a somber gig goer, so... Simon.
So yeah, Simon at Tech Fest, he was watching stage left at Bloodstock.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like maybe he manages them or something, but he was like literally stage left, taking lots of pictures while they were playing. But yeah,
I don't know. It might have been a band that you've gone, fuck it, I'll take a chance because they had some hype. You know what I mean? Not like massive hype.
I mean, they had some hype from you.
Yeah, from me. Yeah.
Where were they on the bill?
And me's putting on every fucking Tech Fest post. Conjuring.
What time did they play in Tech Fest?
I think they were afternoon on like a Saturday or something. They were like 4 o'clock or something.
4, so fairly
early on because I remember we keep going on about our friend Sean from Loki Films, the man with the great big
beard, bushy beard.
There we go.
That's a hark back to episode 1 or 2.
He was saying to me, I was like, fucking mate, I'm off in here, and he was like, what's on? He didn't really know, and I was like, it's fucking Conjurer. I said, go fucking to the front and film them, and he did. And he was like, and then when we come out of the tent, he was like, fucking hell, man, thanks for that. So,
yeah, no,
that
good
all
stuff.
tells you something. Somebody who'd never heard of him, didn't know what the fuck that was all about or anything, and I just went, dude, go film these motherfuckers.
And he walked away impressed.
You did the same with Loathe as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I did the same to Loathe. I dragged him in there. I went, fucking Loathe on. He went, the good. I'm like, yeah. I went like that, and he went right, and he put his thumb up. And this was literally across the fucking sheds, and I was like, get your fucking arse in there,
Didn't you get props from one of the guys from Loathe because you got your Liverpool FC shirt?
Yeah,
on
I did. Yeah. Come on, the boys, top of the league.
I love it. I fucking love it. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, because I bought a t-shirt, you know. And he just went, oh man, fucking love the top because it was fucking boiling hot day. And I was like, you know what, I'm going in my football top to a metal gig. Well, a tech gig.
To be fair,
and it was
you really were not the only person.
Yeah, because it's like breathable nylon, isn't it?
And obviously it was World Cup, right?
And it was World Cup. Yeah. The material that football shirts are made out of, you're just like, it's the best thing ever because you're just like, I don't sweat in this.
It's not
why
cotton.
am I not sweating?
You're just like,
yeah.
How are you doing that?
Yeah, basically.
So
yeah, Conjurer, Maya, please go check it out if you've not heard of these guys, and if you haven't, where the fuck have you been?
Not listening to Terry, clearly.
Yes, definitely.
So where are we at now? 6.
Yeah.
So we're down to 6. This is the last one we're going to do this episode. We're going to come back and do 5 through to 1 next episode. So number 6, my number 6 is Earthless, which are kind of a psychedelic stoner rock band that are fucking incredible. It's like you're listening to a band from like 1978 or something like that. It is insane. I don't know, they've just got a really weird groove to them. Apparently they put on a fucking amazing light show with lasers and shit. Which
free lasers.
Of course they do. Earthless, I was into their previous album, which I think came out in 2012, maybe? It's a while back. No, maybe 15, I don't know. And yeah, that was great. That was a good 70-minute album, 4 tracks.
Whoa.
Exactly. This is quite similar. It's a long album, but it's like 7 tracks, I think. But yeah, they seem a little more focused now, where previous stuff they've just
Gone off on a tangent.
Just gone off on a tangent for like half an hour or something. This seems more focused, and it seems like they've got more composition down, because I think they've only really had about 4 EPs. Admittedly, those EPs are like the length of an album, but yeah, they're
value for money.
Yeah.
As a Yorkshireman, can get behind that 100%.
So my standout tracks for Earthless, if you want to, I don't know, maybe have a chilled night, and then maybe you want to listen to Earthless, take a look at Gifted by the Wind and End to End. They're my standout tracks. So yeah, what you got for 6?
So my number 6 is something you both talked about, because I've sort of read out Joey's top 10. Clutch.
Yeah.
So I am going to agree with both of you that it's not their best work.
I knew you was an algorithm of both of us.
But it is still a very solid rock record. I think I get why it's not made a lot of top 10s, not just your twos, but when I read, sort of Decibel and Metal Sucks and stuff like that. Because Earth Rocker and Psychic Warfare set the bar so high, 2 very fucking hard records to compare it to, and that's why it's not in my top 3. That's why it's number 6. It's not even in my top 5. I made myself we all did our little experiment where we all did our little 10-track fan edits. Yeah. But then I went back and I do enjoy the full album, even the extra tracks, but I'm not normally a fan of like 15, 16 tracks.
Yeah. It is a bit much.
It's... And again, it stands. It's like us doing our top 10s. It's going, no, you've got to be brutally efficient.
Yeah.
What song doesn't quite land? Right, let's skip it off. And that's it. It's like if you were shopping for a car, and you've got in your mind, you've got a favourite brand, and you always go with it, but you're going for a slightly bigger or better model, and then you go to the car showroom, and you're like, oh yeah, that's the one I fucking want, and then you see like a big dint or like a scratch on the alloy, and you're like, oh. Or like you get in and you see the front console, and you're like, that is a stupidly illogical way to lay out the buttons. Fuck, why have they done that? Which designer did that?
Yeah,
and it's the same.
You put the fucking window wipers on the left hand.
Whoa, what? And that's it. It's like you could have been a contender. Or to use my dad saying, don't spoil shit for an apathetar. But yeah, so that's why I didn't make my top 5. But there was no way I was going to bang it out of my top 10. I still listen to it, and bottom line is, any album which gives you the makes me feel like I'm 20 foot tall catchphrase of weaponized funk. I just shout that now randomly. I'm like a guy with Tourette's. I'm like, weaponized funk, for no fucking reason whatsoever. Yeah, that's like me quoting Family Guy or Simpsons and shit. It just fucking
hell, he quotes them motherfuckers.
Yeah, it comes out of my mouth like a nervous tick. So you know what I mean. They've given me that, and I want to see that shit live so fucking bad. So yeah, for me, it had to make my top 10.
They're touring UK like right now, aren't they?
It's like the week of Christmas. It's not next week. It's like the 23rd, 24th. Yeah. It's just like
that's awkward.
No,
I mean,
not the week of Christmas.
To be fair, They
It's a
clutch.
horrible time to talk that.
They clutch. They'll be back in
They'll be
6
clutch,
months.
Do you know what I would love? The last time, when we saw them on the Earth Rocker tour,
Yeah.
where they played Rock City like April or May, I'd love that if that's it. If they did that UK tour now, and then they came back just before the festival season started, and went, yeah, we're just doing a pre-festival run.
Yeah.
Because they're a summertime band.
Yeah.
They're not a winter band. They're
No,
you've
not
got a
at all.
barbecue. You've got
Yeah.
mates round. You've got the
Yeah.
speakers playing. That's you know what I mean. They're designed for festivals and summer tours.
Was it? Is that when we went to Nottingham and it was fucking boiling hot, and then we
Yes.
realised that the pub that we were sat in was on fire.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, that was brutally hot. You couldn't
Yeah.
even fucking open the goddamn windows in there.
But I remember Neil Fallon even called out Rock City. He's like, this is a great venue. He says you shouldn't ever let this venue shut. He's like, you've got a special venue. Don't ever
Yeah.
let this get sold to a land. You're kind of implying don't let this get bought and turned into fucking flats or apartments. And it's bang right. And a couple of people who comment on our Facebook page clearly make a few pilgrimage visits to the Nottingham Rock City. So I totally get behind Rock's number one preacher with that comment.
I also that also reminds me of I'm about to quote a Simpsons thing now. Thank you, Springton. There will be no encore.
This is not the bleeding splish splash show.
That's something that you'd say to all great venues.
Yeah.
Never let this place die, man.
But like me and you, when we saw Lamb and God at Court, and Randy Blythe compared it to CBGB's, and I'm like, if I'd have been
I bet it's a lot. Fucking CBGB's is a lot better than Cork.
it's small, it's smaller.
Is it?
I mean, but bottom line is, I would, if I'd been the guy who ran the Cork's website, I'd have put that quote fucking front and centre. This place is like England's CBGB's, Randy Blythe of Lamb of God. You know what I mean?
Even printed on the fucking pint glasses.
That's
and
it.
everything.
You'd have it on the fucking flyers, on everything.
Yeah.
It's like that's the best fucking endorsement you could ever get about a venue. We're totally going off topic here about top tens, but
Yeah.
No, we're still talking
Yeah.
about Clutch. It's fine.
yeah.
It's fine. I've been quiet, and it's pained me in a year where there's a Clutch album, and for me to not gel with it, 1 and 2, it being my top 10,
I mean,
it pains me.
I'm stunned because if I were a betting man, I would have lost money
You would, yeah.
because I'd put
Because you
money
said,
on.
even before it was out, I remember you saying, you was like...
That'll be
yeah.
your top 3, Terry.
I think we all did. We all said that it would be in our top 10, and it's not in mine or Terry's. And,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm-
I mean, for
I'm a
both
kind
of us, I mean, I love a lot of what Clutch did.
Yeah.
But this album didn't gel with me, so I couldn't, in any good conscience. I mean, there's tracks that I like,
But as an album, you know.
but as a full album, it was getting nowhere near my top 10, which pains me because in like previous years, I mean, even before the podcast and stuff, Clutch has featured
Well,
quite heavily in my top 10.
Psychic Warfare and Earth Rocker were both in your top 3s.
Yeah.
In fact, I
There you
think
go.
one of them got your number 1s. In fact, Earth Rocker, I think, got your number 1.
Did it? I
think
can't,
he did.
I can't remember. I've done so many of them. I've been around the sun too many times.
I just think to myself that don't get me wrong, I love the album and I'd listen to it, to be fair, anytime, but I think that I've also got a point of it being too long. So
I
there
agree
are
with
there
that.
are a few tracks
You'd
that,
listen to different Clutch albums instead.
yeah, or as I said on the podcast, that I'd just shuffle Clutch radio or something like that.
Right. I get that. I do. Yeah, I get it.
It's there are some albums where you listen to them back, top to bottom, and you're like, you know what, that goes and that works, and it's in that formula. And there are some albums where you listen to 4 tracks and you go yes, and then one just takes you out the mix completely, and then you just can't get back into it, and you continue listening.
It's like
And
you
there's maybe
stumble in kind of
there's
thing,
maybe
yeah.
3 in the middle to the end that I think could have been dropped out, and
Maybe released on their own.
exactly. But as I
Yeah.
say, that's my own opinion. That just depends on the mood you're in when you're listening to it, and I don't know, all sorts of shit really. I fucking love it, and I love Clutch. And if I'm on YouTube or something and it's like suggested video Clutch, I'm like, fuck yeah,
Yeah.
So by no means has this album dulled my enthusiasm for Clutch.
It's just it's a bubbling under. For you, it wasn't making it in there.
It probably would have been like just under 10.
Top 20?
But, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Top 15.
Yeah, likely.
Sorry. No.
Still.
Wow.
I can't.
Fuck
In
me.
all good conscience, like I said, I've explained myself. But as much as I love this band, in all good conscience, I can't have it anywhere near my top 10 this year.
Terry gives it a D minus.
Wow. But doesn't give it the D.
Well,
Definitely not.
So what's your number 6?
There we go. Palm Reader, Braille.
So the two bands that play together
Yes.
are your
exactly.
7 and 6.
hey, did you
Oh.
see that they played with Willhaven in Europe as well?
Yes. They did it over here.
Was it
I
just
bet it
the
was
one
like-
day though? Was it like a
Yeah.
London?
Yeah, it was a bit of a too far of a trek for me, but I'd have fucking loved to have seen that. But I've seen them, Palm Reader, a couple of times this year. Like I said, I'll revert back to that gig where I went to, where it was Conjurer and Palm Reader.
Was that Rock City or was it Rescue Rooms?
No, it was a venue opposite. I can't remember the name of it now. It's opposite the Pit and Pendulum, right opposite the Bodega.
Oh, okay.
Is that right? Something like I think it's something like that. But literally, there's the Pit and Pendulum, and you can fall out of there and go straight across to the
okay.
venue where they were playing.
Oh, that's handy.
That literally straight across. It was fucking brilliant. But yeah, that was a great gig. And then I see him in Cup with Pete.
Okay, yeah.
They were playing. I went to one of the.
Yeah, was that one of the Saturday nights?
Yeah. You know what? It was just absolutely fantastic live, and each one of their albums, as well as I'd say, is different. Because on their last album, they was more or less hardcore kind of mathcore, you know, in that Dillinger Escape Plan kind of mould.
Yeah.
Kind of band.
That kind of
And there was like
softer
this
approach of it.
Yeah, and now they've gone to it's just like each album's been completely different to the next, and it's just like, how far are these guys going to go?
Yeah.
You know, there's interweaving guitar lines and stuff that I'm just like, just fucking blew me away.
I don't even know what you're doing, man.
Hey?
I don't even know what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Can't fucking. I'm just like, oh hell. Fantastic. Go see him. Listen to the album.
They're another band that you've told people to go and check out since
I've
I think
been-
episode 1
And
as well.
I've had a lot of bands as well. Big up from bands from these shows, but there's been 3 bands so far that's been from these shows.
These there aisles,
The
yeah.
UK.
Bleed from Within, Conjurer and Palm Reader.
Yeah,
It's not bad that in the first 5,
exactly.
3 from the UK.
Yeah.
And I think in the 90s you wouldn't have got that. But again, I think we talked about this in another podcast, but I remember reading in Metal Hammer, and I think it was like when Bullet were massive. But before Bullet were massive, like the overriding attitude of A&R executives for labels was, I'm not signing a British band, I'm not a fucking charity. There was a downer on British acts that they didn't have the chops and the capability and the marketability to be on tours, to be on the international stage. And I don't know, I think the internet has made a difference with that. You know, back when all you got was the media from the magazines, people were like, oh, they're from Britain, oh, fuck that. You know, unless it's Sabbath or Maiden, I don't care. And I think the internet's been such a great lever, and they've gone, do you know what? You know, some good bands, you know, I mean, there's some bands that aren't in our top 10 that we've talked about on our podcast. Svalbard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely
Killer. That were bubbling under.
Real fucking struggle on
Gnarly, nasty, you know, proper
real
bubbling
struggle
under.
not to get in my top 10. That was real fucking. I was like, it's
A
fantastic.
reluctant chop.
Yeah, it was fantastic, and it was going to take the place of Bleed from Within.
It was for me that's my 11 or 12. It was a reluctant chop, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But
Still a fantastic album. And
3 out
if
of
you
5.
haven't heard it, go check Salem out.
3 out of your 5 in your top 10 are from UK.
That's good. I also have
That's
Black
it.
Tongue.
Killing it.
Yeah, you got Black Tongue. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm all US and Euro, aren't I?
Yeah.
Oh no, Tosca. So I've got one
Yeah.
UK.
Yeah, because they're from Brighton.
Yeah, so we've got 1. But yeah, so that's our 10 to 6.
Yeah, so we're going to leave you there. I don't know, wanting more, hopefully.
So anyone who's listened and has not commented on our Facebook or sent us an email, send us some top 10s, because our top 5s, there may be some similarities.
Yeah.
So I think when we do our 5 to 1s, that episode's probably going to have to do a kind of a looking forward to 2019 and what we're looking forward to as well, because there's no way
we've all chosen individual albums. There's
yeah,
gonna be some...
there's a lot of crossover.
Yeah.
So we need some top 10s, people. And we'll talk about what we're looking forward to 2019 and onwards.
Yeah, what we got planned. Hopefully next time that we do this 4-5 to 1, we might have had a TechFest announcement, because I know they've been fucking blue balls and the fucking hell out of everyone. So yeah, we're going to leave it there. We're going to play the latest Whitechapel song, Black Bear, to play us out. So yeah, see you next time.
See you later.
Laters.